Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were tuned into the second episode of Throw the Hook podcast. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got my partner with me, Ty Finney, the legend. What is going on, good brother?
Man, glad to be on, man. Good night of fights last night, man. Let's chop it up. Let's get into it.
Bro, that was a card. Like that was a card. Like usually you'll see these fight cards and sometimes like they don't get to expectations, but this one was a good card. Top to bottom, man. Like top to bottom, bunch of action. But just to recap the results, Vito Milnicki Jr., he got a victory. Abdullah Mason won a WBO title in an action-packed fight. Big shout out to Abdullah Mason. Bam got a victory, 10th round knockout. Bam's so cold with it. Bam is so cold with it, man. Like he's one of the best fighters in the world, man. And I don't want to say the shocker of the night, but Devin Haney got a knockdown and beat Brian Norman Jr. by decision. And I know Ty Finney got a lot to say about that fight, and so do I. And Mexican monster, David Benavidez, he was slapping Anthony Yarde around all night, man. And we got to actually talk about Benavidez. I think you got to put him up there as probably one of the best offensive fighters of this era. I think we got to start putting him up there in regards to that. We got somebody in the chat. James Baseball Edits to say hi, gang. Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out to you. Man, I guess let's start. Hold on. Tyshawn Burney, what's going on with you? Big shout out to you. Jose Vasquez in the building. He said, yo, what's going on, man? Big shout out to Jose Vasquez too, man. Doing big things, man. Working with fighters and everything. Big shout out to you. Tyshawn Burney said, what about me? I don't know what you mean, but
shout out or something. I don't know.
Oh no, I shouted you out, Tyshawn Burney. Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out to you. You said you're a YouTuber. If you're a YouTuber, big shout out to you. You support us, we support you. You know what I'm saying? But what was the fight of the night for you, Ty?
For me, honestly, I would say Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. Because, both guys, came into this fight undefeated, nice records, a lot of knockouts. And those guys, they went at it, man. Toe-to-toe fight, a lot of action. Both guys were cut up. And, so that was a fan-friendly fight. And salute to both guys, man. Like, Abdullah Mason, one hell of a fighter, from Ohio. I do think he needs to go back to the drawing board and, tighten up the defense. But still, great performance by both guys, man. Both guys, fought their hearts out, man. So salute to both of them. Good fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight. I think in terms of action, I think that was the fight of the night for me as well. Abdullah Mason is a very, very good fighter. And we spoke with Coach Ali on the last episode. Big shout out to Coach Ali. And I asked him about kind of a technical flaw that I see with Abdullah Mason. He likes to start off some combinations with his uppercut. And it's usually after he throws a single jab because he kind of telegraphs it. So whenever Noakes was getting off, it was off of him countering off of that lead uppercut. And I asked Coach Ali, like, did he see that too? And he said, yeah. He said they, like his team talked to him about that and had him clean that up, but you can still see it, throughout the course of that fight. Like he really likes that uppercut. And sometimes, them uppercuts from too far a distance will get you in trouble. It'll really get you in trouble. And you can see that in that fight. But that's what makes Abdullah Mason who he is. He's a young, talented fighter. And the thing about Abdullah Mason is he's flawed in a sense, but that's what's going to make him an exciting fighter, and that's what's going to have him really, in big fights, big money fights. People are going to want to see him. Jose Vasquez, much appreciated, family, man. Appreciate you, man. Everything that you do. Ryan Anthony said Haney won. Yes, indeed. We definitely gonna get to that. Haney versus Shakur would be a great fight. That would be an awesome fight. That would definitely be an awesome fight. But Abdullah Mason being a champion now, like I definitely agree with you, Ty. He's gonna have to clean some of that stuff up when he gets up in competition. That lead uppercut from too far of a distance can get him in trouble. And he reminds me of Spence. But just I don't think he's as disciplined as Spence. But he reminds me of Spence, though. He definitely reminds me of Spence. So, definitely has some work to do, but I think Abdullah Mason's going to have a great career. Vito Milnicki Jr. got a victory on the card as well. His name has been around for a long time. If you follow PBC, PBC was pumping Vito Milnicki Jr. for a while. I'm just ready to see Vito actually get like a fight against a really well-known name. I think he's been around long enough. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see that from Vito. But listen, let's not even delay, bro. Let's get right into it. Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. What was your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, I want to say first I was wrong in my prediction. I was going for, Norman. Just considering how the last fights went, Norman coming off, that crazy hook stoppage out there in Japan, and Devin Haney against Ramirez, just the way his body language was, just moving around, trying to stay out of trouble. So I was just going off by those fights. But man, Devin Haney, I just knew that if they stayed in the pocket, Devin Haney was going to get the best of him. That's exactly what happened. Devin Haney, man, he was consistent with that jab. He kept popping that jab catch. He caught Norman flush every single time. Man, the left hook, the right hook, and that's what put Norman down. And I just knew that Norman, he wasn't fast as Haney, and that's what it was for him. Every time he tried to come in, Haney's defense was on point. As soon as Norman tried to come in, Haney was already backing up. So Norman was just too slow for him. And Devin Haney, man, I mean, he's the dream. He proved us, he proves us wrong over and over. You can arguably say that as a young fighter like him, he's probably fought the best competition out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? He's always taking on big fights, and he's always successful. So, man, hats off to the dream. He's the welterweight champion at 147, so big things in store for him.
Yeah, let me get in these comments real quick. See, 870 Savage said, what's going on? Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out to you. My guy, MAW1231, this is my man that was cooking in the first show. Say hello, Jeff and chat. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, for sure. Alex, he said hi. Big shout out to you, family. Ryan Anthony 2812, Bivol versus Benavidez. That's probably that might be the hottest fight they can make. That's top 5 on my list for sure. Big shout out to you, Ryan. 1231. Come on, guys. Smash that like button, folks. I agree with him 100%. Smash that like button. Subscribe to Ty Finney, the legend, as well. Ryan said, I think Bivol beats Benavidez. We can get into that. We can get into that. 870 Wise Barry. Anyone talking in the chat? Oh, barely anybody talking in the chat. We just jumped on a couple minutes ago, so we're gonna get the cooking for sure. Ryan said Haney too fast for Norman. We gonna get on that too. Great jab. Haney got power. We gonna get into that too. And Ryan said, I sub, man. Big shout out to you, fam. We appreciate that. He said, I was the second one that did it. Appreciate that, man, for sure. I got somebody in here waiting. I don't know who that is. But yeah, Haney. Let me tell you the problem I had with the fight. it wasn't Haney and it wasn't Brian Norman Jr. Sergio Mora, the announcer for DAZN, like he kept referring to Brian Norman Jr. as the monster. Like he kept saying he was the monster. The savage is hurt. The monster's hurt. I'm like, yo, like he's not a monster. He's not a savage. I said he's a young fighter on a hot streak. It was puzzling me because I'm like, damn, I'm like, the majority of the people out here, I think they actually thinking Brian Norman Jr. is like a monster. Like he came into the fight as a favorite. And I see it in the last show. I was just like, my man Matt hit me up. He was just like, yo, like, you know, who you like in the fight? And I'm like, well, what's the odds? He was like, Brian Norman was like minus 120. I was like, am I missing something? I said, am I missing something? Because I'm like, Norman can't win this fight without getting a couple of knockdowns. He can't, like Haney's one of the best fighters in history in winning rounds. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. Hold on, let me see. Haney footwork not that good. I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree too, 100%.
Yeah,
that's why Norman couldn't catch him because Haney was just so good with his footwork, so good with his defense. Like Norman had no success, you know, trying to come out and throw those shots. Like Haney defense was on his A game, man. A game.
Yeah. The reason I disagree with that is because his footwork is the reason why Norman couldn't get off. So you now in the Jose Ramirez fight, Haney was doing a lot of bicycling, circling around the ring, things like that. The different thing he did in this fight, which is a traditional thing for boxers, is he was jabbing and then he was stepping into Brian Norman. He was getting right into his chest. So he would throw the jab and then he would come in like this. So he got all this covered. And he's right in Norman's chest. And Norman really couldn't get off. So he was swinging them left hooks. He was swinging it there. Or he was so tight that he couldn't get his hooks off. So I disagree with the footwork. I think he has some of the better footwork in the game, inside and out. I just think he gets criticized for it because sometimes he moves a little too much. He said Haney was the favorite. It depends on the book. It was some people had Norman favored. It was minus 120. He said I meant Norman footwork, not good. My bad. Okay. He has solid footwork, but I don't think I think it's just stable. I think he has stable footwork. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this person in. Shelton Moore, what's going on?
What's up with you young brothers? How y'all doing?
How you feeling?
So Shelton?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great until I heard somebody here say, hey, you got some of the best footwork in history. I'm like, whoa.
I didn't say hold on. I didn't say he has some of the best footwork in history. I said he's one of the best in history at winning rounds. I didn't say he has some of the best footwork in history.
Oh, in history?
I said in terms of winning rounds. In terms of winning rounds.
He's good. He's a good fighter. Devin Haney. Put it this way. I was at the Regis fight. I went to the fight in Frisco.
Okay.
This is the best Haney I've ever saw last night. That's the best Devin Haney I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. And that Devin Haney that fought last night probably beats everybody else at 147.
Well, with that being said, 147 is kind of weak too.
Yeah, we understand it's a weak division. But I'm saying that with that being said, can he sustain that? Can he produce that kind of performance fight after fight after fight? Because he was really up for this fight because of all the back and forth in the buildup, right? Mm-hmm. Would he be up like this for Barrios or Rolly?
To be honest with you, bro, like I look at it like this, like outside of the Ryan fight, and there was some lab administered juices going on in that fight. When hasn't Haney come to the game to play ball? Almost every fight he's been in, he comes to the fight. He comes in the game to play and plays ball.
Not the Ramirez fight. That was an ugly performance. That performance was trash.
Yeah, the performance was trash, but you could still say he probably won 10 out of 12.
Yeah, he did. He did do that. I can't deny that, but it was trash. It was trash performance.
So we have to balance out. We have to balance out.
Honestly, I really liked the Linares performance. I liked his Linares performance. I thought that was really good. He got clipped, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah, he got a lot of criticism for that. You know, he got a lot of criticism for that performance too, because he only got clipped that one time. So we got to kind of balance out, you know, like what we're talking about. Are we talking about him having a classic performance like he did last night, where he flashed the power, he flashed the skill set, and it's an entertaining performance, or he just gets the job done? Are we talking more like that?
Well, last night, you know, what I saw last night, what really showed to me, I was shitting on Haney about this the whole build up to the fight, because Haney kept leaning towards his experience, and last night he shut me up because he showed his experience. Brian Norman didn't have the experience to deal with Haney last night. He had experience.
But Ty and I was talking about this before, like. That's why I was like, I didn't understand the odds being so close, you know, because I was like, Brian Norman Jr. he's not as experienced, and he's not as technically sound either. He was just on a hot streak, you know. So, but Haney's been around big time fighters since he was a kid, so the experience is there, you know, for sure. So I definitely agree with that. But let me jump in the comments real quick. 1231, he said Devin went back to what he always did. Hold ground as much as possible, box at range, and looking for openings to counter, clinching and holding when he can. Devin was just on another level on the day. Props. I mean, he outclassed him for sure. Ryan said Haney does have great footwork. Crawford said Haney fought good. Ryan said facts. Shakur said Haney fought good. I thought Haney fought well. Let's see. I saw that. Do I gotta kick somebody off? Yeah.
I don't know who that is, man.
Let me see.
No, we here. I can answer your question about the odds. I know why the odds were the way they were. It's because what does the modern boxing fan fall in love with, fellas?
Power.
Knockouts.
Yeah.
This guy was on a 3-fight knockout streak.
Hey, Ty. That comment is on your side.
All right,
so you might have to ban him on your side. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that he's on a 3-fight knockout streak. Number one, that made the people think he's more than he was. And number two, most importantly, I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this, probably made him think he was more than he was as well.
The thing is with him, he always thought like that. Like Brian Norman and his dad, they always thought like that. Like he was the goods. And you're supposed to think like that. So I don't have no problem with that.
Exactly.
It was just when people were saying he was a monster, I'm like, I'm from Philly, right? Like I'm from Philly. I know Brian Norman Jr. is not a monster. I know he's not a monster. Like I know that sparring session he had with Boots. He's far from a monster. I know this. You know what I'm saying? I know, and I'm a Brian Norman Jr. fan. I'm not saying that because I'm from Philly.
Right.
I'm a Boots fan too.
Right.
I know he's not a monster.
Right.
It was just so good. Yeah.
Right.
But he's a young up and coming fighter who I think is going to bounce back from this. He's going to bounce back from this. But
he's 20. Was he 24? Is he 24 years old?
24 years old. 24 years old. He done made it. But you got to look at it. He was cornered. He was either going to have to run into Boots or he had to run into Haney. So he was going to catch it either way. But I think his dad did a great job.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, Sean, where you from, Sean?
Yeah.
Where you from,
and he got a $3 million payday out of it. So.
Yeah.
I'm from Los Angeles, California, fellas.
Oh, you from Cali?
Los Angeles.
Oh, you from LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
He hops on with last ones at the ball all the time. So
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Salute to you, brother. Salute to you.
Yeah.
So since you from LA, let's get into the Benavidez Yarde fight. I mean, your gas tank is terrible, but I didn't know that Benavidez was gonna be slapping him around like that. I got a lot of respect for Yarde as a fighter, but he was really smacking Yarde around. Like he was really smacking him around, like something crazy. What did you think about that
I
fight?
I don't understand why people don't see what I see in this dude. Look, they said the dude didn't punch hard. He's just all show. He's flabby. He's not really a big guy. He's not really put him in there with Alexander Vazdik. Now, as we all know, Alexander Vazdik retired Superman Stevenson and gave Beterbiev the hardest fight he's ever had. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So even at 37 years old, Vazdik was no pushover. That was his first fight at light heavyweight. Gets past Vazdik with a busted up hand. They say, the power didn't translate. Power didn't translate. He really ain't nothing, blah, 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 blah. So then they put him in there with David Morrell. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody and their mama picked David Morrell. I told everybody who listened, Benavidez is going to beat the shit out of this dude. You cannot put 11-fight fighter in with David Benavidez. It's not going to end well. And to my point, didn't end well. Got beat up. Then they put Boo Boo in there. He got beat up. Whoever they put in there gets beat up. You put Anthony Yarde, a guy that got power in the first 3-4 rounds. If you look at his history, what does his history show you? After round 5, he's going to start gassing. If you go gas against anybody, it probably shouldn't be David Benavidez because he gets stronger as the fight goes on. So if you get tired against that guy, you're going to get the result you got last night. You're going to get beat up and knocked out. I don't understand what's so hard for people seeing that.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like the real boxing fans know what time it is with David Benavidez. It's the fact that he's been stalking Canelo all this time. That's why the general public like to kind of throw dirt on his name and not acknowledge him. But I was telling Ty before we started the stream, David Benavidez is one of the best offensive fighters of this era. He's one of the best offensive fighters of this era.
Yeah.
And I still think there's certain aspects of his game that he hasn't even tapped into yet. Like, if he decided to pot shot people, it would be crazy. I don't even think he uses his jab as good as he could. And he's still one of the best offensive fighters in this era. Still one of the best. You know what I'm saying? But big shout out to Yarde for actually actually stepping in there. Because they interviewed him after the fight, and Yarde said, I knew what I was getting myself into. He said, but I thought I could pull it off. I was just like, that's a real ass comment. Right. And a lot of times fighters don't keep it real. That was about as real as you can get. He was like, yo, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew it. You know what I mean? But big shout out to Anthony Yarde, too. Go ahead, Ty.
I was just going to say, like, I was cool with Yarde's game plan. Like, if he came out swinging for the fences, what I thought he should do, he could really, ran out of gas even earlier. So he was just playing it safe. Like, it was pity-pat shots, but that wasn't hurting Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I think the way he boxed was just a good game plan, not coming in swinging for the fences, get tired out or get caught with something in the middle, get countered, swinging for the fences. So the way he was boxing, just the pity-pat shots and, keeping his distance, I think that was smart on his part, but eventually Benavidez was going to stop him. So that's just what happened. But yeah, Yarde, man, like I like the guy, man. He's got the physique and everything, but it's like
is that my man?
He comes up short, man.
What'd you say, family?
Is that my man Ty? Is that my man Ty right there?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, what's up, Ty? What's up, man?
That's fat. You ain't see him the whole time?
No, I didn't see him. That's my guy right there.
Yeah, you know, that's fam. I say when my show goes on my channel, it goes on his too. That's how we rocking. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. For sure.
Yeah, man, I like that, man. That's cool, man.
Lavelle Jackson.
Yarde. Go ahead.
Lavelle Jackson said, "Glad to see you back. Big shout out to you, family." 1231. He said, "Most like KO fighters more than boxers. Every fighter gonna do what style they best at and what works for them. Devin might not be super exciting for a lot of fans, but he does what he does to get the W." I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Ryan said Bivol versus Benavidez next. He actually said he's fighting Zerto at cruiserweight, which I'm okay with that fight, but I'd much rather see the Bivol fight or the Beterbiev fight. 1231 said Yarde tried but failed. Love to respect. Yarde was more boxing and power shots until Benavidez brung the rain and drowned him out. I didn't have a problem with the game plan. But you just knew. I was talking about this with Shane in the last show. I was like, I think he's just gonna have to crash out, like try to go for it. Just the first 4 rounds, just try to crash out. And I mean, like Hagler Hearns type style. And then if Benavidez is still there, then you know it is what it is. But he just wasn't going to last 12. You know what I mean? Listen, Anthony Yarde. I think he can walk to the corner store and back and probably be breathing heavy. I don't know what it is. Like you just look at his physique.
Come on, man! Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like you can look at his physique, but but Shelton, if you look at his physique, you would think he's like godly. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like you just wouldn't.
Well, you know, hey, like we said last week, bro. If Muscles won fights, and Anthony Yarde and Anthony Joshua would be undefeated, right?
No, I agree. I agree with that. But you would think somebody with that type of physique wouldn't have a gas tank that low.
But you play sports, right? Both of you guys, you played sports before, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you play sports. You know, what do muscles require? They require oxygen.
Yeah.
You got a whole lot of muscle, you probably go gas out because you need way more oxygen to keep their muscles going.
But I've seen some guys that got muscle and they can. You
know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's a different sport and they train different. Boxing is probably one of the best sports on the planet and it's singular. Yeah. You know, football, basketball is different. Baseball, even wrestling, that's different. Boxing is something totally different. Even different than it's different. Boxing is different.
I agree. I agree with that.
Boxing is more mental. I mean,
but listen, there's like he's been in the game for so long. For him to survive this long in boxing and have that small of a gas tank is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Like he's like 30. Ty, what 33, 34?
I think he's 34. I think he was
33 years old, yeah.
And that's not
33, 34, yeah, he's up there. He's getting up there.
Yeah, but that's not an age to really be gassing out, man. You got fighters.
But if you think about it, he's only been overmatched. He's only been overmatched 4 times. Everybody else, he's steamrolled. He was overmatched against Beterbiev, overmatched against Kovalev, overmatched against Lyndon Arthur the first time he wasn't ready, and overmatched against Benavidez. Everybody else, even Lyndon Arthur, he steamrolled. Yeah, he steamrolled Lyndon Arthur in the second fight.
But the point is, he steamrolls the majority of them early, right in his window.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Straight up. You know what I mean?
Right.
1231. Yarde should have mixed it up more, in my humble opinion. Boxer set something up, pitter patter, if you will, but should have threw more power shots in there to try to close the show early if you can't go the distance. So 1231. So here's the issue with that concept, right? Here's the issue with that concept. If he would have pity patted more with his shots early, he still ended up getting tired. If he would have loaded up on his shots, he would have got tired. It's just like Benavidez was the absolute worst matchup for him because Benavidez got all the stamina in the world, and Benavidez looked like he'll drink a beer with you. You know what I'm saying? He'll be at the bar drinking a beer with you, and Yarde looked like he stays in the gym 20 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? But looks is not everything when it comes down to boxers and fighting. You know what I'm saying? So there was no unless he just landed something big against Benavidez, he wasn't going to be able to do any of that stuff. He just don't have the stamina to do it. Ryan said, who Benavidez fighting next? He's fighting Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight. Said Crawford versus Benavidez. Crawford ain't fighting that boy. The only fights Benavidez is gonna be able to get is them big boys at 175 a cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? He said, who is that? Zurdo Ramirez is a champion in cruiserweight. Zurdo is what? Is he like 40 something and 0?
Unified champion.
41 and 0, 42 and 0.
40. He's 47. He's 47 and 1.
47 and 1. Yeah, so he's gonna go up to cruiserweight and fight Zurdo Ramirez.
Yeah, he lost the Bivol
title.
Bivol beat.
Yes, yeah. So
Bivol beat the brakes on.
Yeah. So that's gonna be David Benavidez next fight. He announced, I think he said May 2nd, 2026.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, May 2nd. Think of the mile weekend.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a good fight. Not the one that everybody want to see, but I think it'll be a good fight. Ryan said Usyk versus
Zurdo
Benavidez.
Ramirez is one of my favorite fighters, but Benavidez is gonna beat the brakes to do. Too slow.
Yeah, Zurdo's too slow. I don't know where Sheldon went, but Zurdo's definitely too slow. For Benavidez to have that size and to have that speed, he has welterweight type speed in a 175-pound frame. So Benavidez is one of the best offensive fighters in the world. Top 5 offensive fighters in the world, for sure. Todd, what's next for Haney? What would you like to see Haney do?
To be honest, man, even though the Ryan lost, that got changed and Haney's still undefeated, I still think they should just run that back. But Ryan didn't look so good in his last fight against Rolly, and he still got to get past Barrios. But if he does get past Barrios and he's successful, I think Haney, he's got to get that back, man. He's got to.
Yeah. The thing that's crazy about that is Ryan Garcia is coming off a loss and he's getting a title fight against Barrios, which is absolutely crazy to me. And even with Barrios, it's really no legal way to really explain it, simply because Barrios fought Pacquiao, that was a voluntary. So when we start giving out 2-3 voluntaries in a row, you know what I'm saying? So, but like Coach Ali said, if you're a big name and you bringing in big money, they'll make an exception for you. So that's just what that is. Ryan said Benavidez said he won't fight Bivol. I don't know why not. I don't know why not. It's a winnable fight. I love Bivol, but that's a winnable fight for Benavidez. 1231 said looks definitely means nothing to ability. This boxing is not bodybuilding. Like I said, if you can't go the distance, look to be setting something up to close early, but hindsight is pointless. I think Yarde was trying to do that, but I think with Benavidez, he throws so many shots, he's almost impossible to counter. You got to throw with him. You know what I mean? Ryan said Rolly knocked out Ryan. We knocked him down, but Ryan looked bad in that fight. He said Ryan should fight Rolly rematch. I wouldn't be against it, but said Rolly got power. Yeah, he definitely got power. Definitely got power for sure. I think Ryan, I would like to see him, fight Rolly again, try to make that right. But he looked like trash in that fight. He looked like straight trash in that fight. And if he don't beat Barrios, I don't want to hear nothing from Brian Garcia. I don't want to hear nothing from Ryan Garcia. Like Mario Barrios, he might be the worst champion in the sport.
And to be honest, to follow up with that, man, I just like when he fought Pacquiao, I just felt he held back. I just felt he had back. I think he looked at it like Pacquiao's older. I'm in the ring with a legend, a Hall of Famer, so I'm going to take it easy on this guy. I mean, but to me, I think if he's got the height and everything, so to me, I think he should have made easy work at Pacquiao. But that's just my humble opinion. I just felt that he really held back against Pac-Man because he realized he was getting in there with a legend.
But the thing is, like, Barrios is not even good enough to even be thinking like that. That's the crazy part. He's not good enough to even be thinking like that. Like, he should be pedal to the metal every time he in the ring, no matter who he in the ring with. Listen, when he fought Ramos was putting the paws to him. I thought Ramos won that fight against him. So, yeah, Barrios is he's for the taking. He's for the taking, for sure. To be honest with you, if I'm Haney, I'm probably looking. If I'm Haney, this is what I would do. I would, because Ryan Garcia got Barrios next. If Ryan Garcia beats Barrios, I'm going to see Ryan, not because of what happened in their first fight, but because it's going to be technically a unification fight. That's why I would go see Ryan Garcia for Devin Haney. I would try to look for something just to keep him busy, like in between. I would look for something just to keep him busy, and then hopefully Ryan to do what he got to do against Barrios, and then them two in the summer. Them two in the summertime.
That's a good point too, man. Very good point, because if Ryan becomes champ, then they can unify. That'll make that fight even bigger.
Exactly.
On the line. Ryan's got the big following. Devin's coming off a nice win, so it would definitely be a nice build up. Definitely sell out. I think the tickets would sell out. It'll sell millions on pay-per-view for sure.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Brennan Smith in the building, man. Big shout out to you, bro. He said Pitbull versus Lamont Roach. Who you got?
To me, man, this is easy work for Roach, man. I think Pitbull just he doesn't never really have a plan B or C. He's just a short fighter that comes in swinging for the fences. I mean, and we seen how Roach held his own against Tank. So I just see Pitbull coming in and Roach is just countering him while he's coming in, catching him with the jab. I think this is just easy work for Roach here, and he's going to box his way off to a unanimous decision, man. I don't give Pitbull any chance in this fight.
It depends on how Lamont comes into this fight. If he comes in drunk off of the Tank fight, he could end up having some problems. He can end up having some problems, because the one thing about Pitbull is, he coming right through your front door. It ain't really too much to really figure out with Pitbull. I think if Lamont Roach gets his work in and pivots to the side, make Pitbull reset. If you make Pitbull reset, you're gonna have a hell of an offensive night against Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is a respectable guy, but we've seen this type of fighter before, the come forward fighter, just no regard for anything, wild hooks and things like that. Like we've seen the Pitbull Cruzes before. If Lamont is on his game and he leaves his ego at the door, can't go in there trying to be, rumbling him all night. Leave your ego at the door. You come in, you do smart footwork. I think he should take care of Pitbull Cruz, but I think that's a really good fight, though. I don't know about that price tag, though, but it is a nice card, though. I don't know about that price tag. That price tag, like $75. 1231 said Ryan and Rolly unlikely. If Ryan beats Mario, Ryan and Devin rematch more likely. Why? Because Ryan will be confident he could do it again, while Dev want avenge his first loss. Also unification. Yeah, all of those things are facts. All of those things are facts. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like Ryan Garcia got caught cheating. That's just what it is. He got punished for it, and he actually did the punishment. So he got caught cheating. So to be honest with you, I think Ryan Garcia has more to prove than Haney, because Haney doesn't have an L on his record because Ryan Garcia cheated, and he looked like trash
His last
in the
fight.
Rolly fight. Yeah. So Ryan's the one that has a lot to prove. I think Devin proved everything he needed to prove last night.
Yeah. But also Devin is definitely further more accomplished. Ryan's never been a champion. So he really needs to get past Barrios, and then he'll be a first time champion. He's never been a champ. Devin's already accomplished far a lot. So yeah. So Ryan has to get that win against Barrios. Because like you said, man, Barrios isn't really that good of a champion.
Yeah, that's a great point. But Ryan Garcia has a lot to prove. Hopefully we'll see it though. Hopefully we'll see it. Summer 2026. That would be awesome to see. But for Benavidez, he's already locked in with Zerto. Hold on, we got Old Money Swag 6504. What's going on? He said it's a shame none of these guys gave Boots a chance to become undisputed at 47. That's a good comment. But let me speak on that too. The Boots did something that a lot of fighters fail to do. They move up when their body says for them to move up. I know that Boots camp, and Boots was making weight. Boots was making weight fine, but it was becoming more of a struggle. And I think as fighters, I think you have to pick the right time to actually move up in weight. You have to pick the right time, because you could actually stay at a weight too long, and I think it can affect you long term. Take Errol Spence, for example. I think he stayed at 47 way too long. Look at Andrade. I think he stayed at 54 way too long. I mean, I can go on.
Boots
But
is always a big dude, man. Like, I've met
Boots
a handful of times. Boots is a big dude. And I was like, when I met him, probably the second time when I seen him at the Gary Russell fight, I was like, dang, how is he even at 147? You know what I'm saying? Dude, like 180 or so. I was like,
I've seen Spence. I've seen Spence in person, and I'm like, I said, I don't know how this dude gets down to 47. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, it would have been great if they had been able to fight Boots. But I don't think Boots wants to go back down to 47. I wish he could though, because I think he mops the floor with Devin and Ryan. I think he mops the floor with that whole division, but he's at 54 now, and it's a lot of action for him at 54. And them guys at 47 now, they got to make a name for themselves, because really outside of Haney, it's really nothing cooking at 47 as far as champions are concerned.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, you got Spence, who's not in the division no more. Boots is not in the division. Virgil's no longer in the division. Crawford's no longer in the division. Yeah, so it's like all the big names are gone now from 147. So it's like it's not really popping now.
Yeah, that whole PBC era where it was Spence and Sean Porter and Keith Thurman and all them guys, like it left Danny Garcia, it left 147 bare. Right now the champions are Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, and Barrios. That's nasty work. That is nasty. That's trifling work. You know what I'm saying? Like, Haney could literally go on a run and be unified at 47 with no problem. With no problem. Brennan said, "Is Tank done?" It depends on what you're talking about. Like, if you're talking about is he done in terms of fighting, I would say no, because he there's a lot of people that depend on him, and he's going to want to get paid at some point, so he's going to end up getting back into the ring. I don't want to hear from Tank unless he's fighting Lamont Roach. As far as I'm concerned, he got Lamont Roach problems. I don't want to see him fight nobody else but Lamont Roach. He needs to run that back, and he needs to make that right. Because I honestly think Lamont had his number in that fight. I think he had his number in that fight. It was a close fight, but I felt like Lamont won it. 12:31. Devin doesn't have an L officially because Ryan did cheat. Devin can beat Ryan if rematch, in my opinion. He just took Ryan lightly in the first. We all thought Ryan was crazy because his antics, but he played many. So with that, bro, he got caught with a shot in the first round. I think the shot happened so early in the fight. You can't really say he took him lightly because as soon as the bell rung, he got caught with the hook. So you can't say like he took him lightly, like the round just started. You know what I'm saying? Like the round just started. And then after the knockdown, like Haney really did some good work. You know, he did some good work after the knockdown. So it's just he fought somebody that was on some super juices that night. And you got to remember 12:31, like they fought 5 times in the amateurs.
No.
So for them, that's the 6th time they was in the ring, and that's never happened to either guy before. I wasn't surprised that there was some juices found. But that just goes to show how much Ryan wanted to win that fight, that he was willing to cheat to do it. And some people say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you know,
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, they already fought so many times. I think Ryan just wanted to just go in there and just, you know, make a statement. Just go in there and make a statement. You know, I'm so used to this guy. I know what he brings to the table. I've already fought him a lot. So let's get in there. Let's get in here while we pros him. And, you know, let's get this thing over with.
Right. Old Money Swag said, keep your eye on Polanco at 147. It's a couple of young pups at 47. I think a lot of guys is going to try to come up to 47 and try to make their mark because they see food at 47. They see Rolly and they see Barrios. And I think a lot of guys are going to try to make their pitch, you know, to try to get those 2 guys in the ring. I think people are going to try to avoid Devin as much as possible. But, you know, 147 is kind of bare right now. It's kind of a bare cupboard, you know, at 47. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. 12:31. He said, I agree on your Pitbull assessment. Roach has to have different plan because Pitbull very different from Tank. He will be crashing in and less calculated than Tank. Well, the thing is, the reason I had that assessment 12:31 is that I don't want Lamont Roach to get too comfortable in the pocket. Not because I don't think he can handle Pitbull Cruz in the pocket. It's simply because you got to give Pitbull angles. Like, you're not going to be able to walk into the front door with me like every single time. Sometimes you're going to have to hit the side door. You're going to come in through the basement. You're going to come in through the back door. You're not just going to walk through my front door every single time. Like, I'm going to make it difficult for you from a footwork standpoint because Pitbull is very quick in a straight line. If you tell him to slide slightly to the left, slightly to the right, it's not as smooth. It's not as smooth. Any calculated boxer will be able to have a way with Pitbull Cruz, and he puts a lot of mental pressure on you. Like if you stand there, like if he charges at you and you decide not to move, you're gonna be able to get a lot of shots off on Pitbull. You're gonna be able to get a lot of shots off on Pitbull. But I'm gonna be tuned in. I'm gonna be tuned in simply because the card is stacked. I like the main event. So if I do pay for it, it's going to be because of the entire card, not the main event. But this is a PBC card, and PBC is kind of on a downswing, on the downside, because they don't have that network deal. You know, they don't have the zone. They don't have. I mean, they have the Amazon one, but Amazon is not really in the boxing, so Al Heyman can't even really control things with Amazon the way he did with other places. Said Jeff 100. Shout out to you. Old Money said Africa versus Dev at 47. Or catchweight will be a good one. I would like to see Jalil get a shot also. I like Jalil. I like Jalil Hackett. Yeah. I like Jalil. I like Richardson Hitchens too.
I think it's a little too early for Jalil. Just my humble opinion. I think it's a little too early for him. Like he doesn't have too many fights under his belt, too much experience. So, and he recently took a L. So I think he might just need a couple more fights, a little more experience before, jumping in with these guys.
I think Hitchens can beat Barrios right now. I think he can beat Barrios right now. Rolly, I don't know, because Rolly just has a style that's the complete opposite of Hitchens. That's the boxer versus the puncher, which has always produced some of the most classic fights out there, in boxing history. So I like Hitchens though, but I think Hitchens versus Barrios, Hitchens beats Barrios easy.
Yeah, Hitchens got speed, man. He's
Hitchens
fast,
is nice. Hitchens is nice with it.
Don't
If he
got the
decided
power.
to move up,
he don't got the pop like that, but he's
Right.
fast with the jab. He's skilled. Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I roll it with Hitchens 100.
Yeah, if he decided to move up to 47, I think he would do okay. Brennan said, "Who you got in the co-main? Who you got in the co-main on that card? Who the co-main on that card? Ty?
I know. Laura and Janet is on there.
Oh, Laura and Janet. Yeah, I think that is the co-main. Ooh, that's a good fight. I don't know. I'm not a huge Janet fan, but Laura is more of an exciting fighter now than he was in his younger years. I'm gonna say Laura. I'm gonna say Laura takes it.
Yeah, I probably vote with Janet, but like I agree with you 100. Like Laura, he's had the stoppage over what Danny Garcia, Thomas Lamana, Gary O'Sullivan. So he's been stopping guys in his older age. So he's still good with it. That Cuban style. But Janibek, I think Janibek's got the youth. He's got a little more pressure. So I think like can Laura? My question is, can he withstand that pressure in like the later rounds? Like he held his own with Jared Hurd, but that was some years ago now. So I think Janibek's going to bring a different kind of pressure to the table. But I think Laura, as long as them legs are good for 12 rounds, he should be okay. But like if those legs ain't going to be good, I think Janibek can take over, the second half of the fight.
That's an interesting fight because I think Laura done ditched the Cuban style a while ago. Last like couple years, he been sitting down. He been sitting down and fighting. Last couple years, especially like since the Hurd fight, he been sitting down and fighting. You know what I'm saying? I think he did a great job against Danny when he fought Danny. But yeah, Laura is a lot more the older Laura is a lot more entertaining than the younger Laura for sure. Let me see. Old Money said Africa got a relentless jab also. Yeah, he does. He does. But it's not hard to make your jab look good against Kambosos either. Kambosos is going to run into the light pole for sure. Every time inside the ring, he's going to run right into the light pole. He said that's fire. Thank you. Got to go yet. I'll stop by. Keep hustling, family. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna close it out right there, man. 54 minutes strong. We had a good amount of people in here too. So big shout out to everybody coming in here on the last notice thing. We will be back this Tuesday. For episode 3 of Throw the Hook podcast. Had some technical difficulty on my end, so I couldn't get the whole crew on, but I'll make sure to take care of business, and I fully anticipate to have a full staff on. Ty Finney, the legend, VP Shane, Vlog. I'm expecting him to be back as well. Coach Ali probably. I'm gonna try to get Padman McGriff on as well. I'm gonna see if Coach Ali can get his Layman Brewster as well. See if he can jump on. I'm gonna try to get a couple other guys on the show as well, so we can continue to talk about the Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. fight, and continue to cover this card. The card was so good that is worth us talking about on Tuesday as well. So 1231 last comment said most just assuming Janibek beats Laura easy, but Laura has changed. Laura was an outside boxer at 154, but at 160, he's a boxer puncher now. that sets more traps for counter KOs versus Janabek would be fire. And Mason versus Nooks was a fight of the card. Just thought I'd put that out. Yeah, Ty Finney talked about that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
That was the fight of the night. Yeah, that was the fight of the night for the both of us. You know,
both guys were cut up. You know, both guys were cut, bleeding, and they fought through it, man. So
yeah,
that was a good action-packed back and forth fight for sure. You know, especially you know, not be the co-main or the main event. So them guys really, you know, gave the fans, you know, a good fight.
Yeah, and the thing about Abdullah Mason is he keeps fighting like that. He's going to be main event billing very, very shortly. He's going to be main event billing because you know you're going to get an entertaining fight out of him, but then he shows you enough skill as well and enough vulnerability to keep your eyes glued on him and glued on all his fights. So big shout out to Abdullah Mason for becoming a WBO champion of the world. Big accomplishment for him. I know his family's happy for him as well. It's been a long journey for him. And 1231 he said, appreciate you fellas. Subscribe, share, and smash the like button, folks. Hey man, we appreciate you, brother. We will be back on Tuesday. And before we go, rest in peace to Vanez Martirosyan. He passed away, I think, earlier today. He had a battle with I think skin cancer. So he passed away. So condolences to him and his family for sure. Ty, give him your social media and all that.
Yeah, man. Facebook, Ty Finney, Instagram, The Legend 3347. You know, podcast and just be on the lookout because you know we're doing a live coverage. You know, I'm still working on our interviews. So you know, in this corner podcast, you know, just sub and hit that like button for sure.
For sure. Find me all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything G5 Jeff TV. As far as the Throw the Hook podcast, it is a playlist on my channel for the Throw the Hook podcast. So you can, if you missed the first episode, definitely check the first episode out. Definitely, if you missed this show, definitely check this one out as well. I will be dropping some highlights from this show, and you know, we'll definitely have that out on social media. 1231 said R.I.P. Vanez. He said, I lost a sister yesterday during Bam versus Puma. SMH. Man, condolences, man. Condolences. For sure. You know, so you know, Ty, appreciate you stopping through, man. Just, you know, last minute thing. You know, so appreciate you stopping through for sure. Big shout out to VP Shane. You know,
salute to everybody in the comment section. Salute to, you know, Shelton coming on. Like I said, he jumps on last ones at the bar, you know, a lot. And then Lavelle Jackson, he came through in the comment section. He, you know, he's part of the last ones at the bar. So salute to them, man. They go live every Sunday, man. So you know, definitely, you know, sub the last ones at the bar, man. Show them guys some love as well.
Yeah, last ones at the bar, definitely show them some love as well. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Shane. Big shout out to Vlog, Coach Ali, Padman McGriff. Big shout out to Randall Bailey too, Chad Dawson. I'm gonna be sure to get them on as well. You know, but that was a great card. Big shout out to Jetta Promotions too. Big shout out to Jetta Promotions, and we got to get into that Michael Fox, Mark Dawson situation too. So I actually want to try to get Michael Fox on because I kind of want to hear it from him. So we're gonna reach out to Michael Fox, man. But big shout out to everybody in the chat. And if you haven't subscribed to Ty Finney the Legend, please subscribe to Ty Finney the Legend, man. In this corner podcast, doing some great work over there, man. So we're gonna sign off, and we will see you guys Tuesday, probably at 6 p.m. So on behalf of Ty Finney the Legend in this corner podcast, and your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru, Throw the Hook podcast episode 2. We out.
Peace.